This Saturday, AEW presents All In from Arlington, Texas. I can't remember if I've done an AEW predictions yet. I don't think I have. Or if I have, it's been a long time ago. Full Gear was the last time I did a AEW predictions video, so that was last year. So yeah, we're getting back on it. There are, for All In, 8 matches. I'm recording this on Wednesday, which is taking a risk because Dynamite's tonight, so they may add another match to this. If they add another match to this, you may see a cut, and I'll add it in. But yeah, this is going to be the one that comes out Thursday, so this should be Thursday as you're watching this, if I've timed everything right. Yeah, 8 matches. Let's get into it. First up, for the AEW World Tag Team Championships, a 3-way match. The Hurt Syndicate of Bobby Lashley and Shelton Benjamin versus Jet Speed, Kevin Knight and Speedball Mike Bailey versus the Patriarchy, Christian Cage and Nick Wayne. I think it's a triple threat because one of these teams is obviously taking the pin. That is Jet Speed. And I think the Patriarchy are in it to basically continue the storyline of Christian Cage and Nick Wayne, which is kind of going towards Christian treating Nick as he treated Killswitch, or what was Luchasaurus. And I think Hurt Syndicate get the win. It's as simple as that. Yeah, there's nothing much else I can say about that one. That's basically the structure of the match in a nutshell. Next, for the TNT Championship, Adam Cole, baby, versus the Proto Star, Kyle Fletcher. I don't think Cole has done too much with the TNT title for me, and I think that this is the reason why I'm hinting toward. I'm moving towards Kyle Fletcher. I think Kyle Fletcher has done a lot of good work recently. I think he deserves a title of some kind. Bearing in mind they're fusing two together in this pay-per-view, I think the TNT title would be an ideal one for him. And I think a win over Adam Cole would not be a surprise. So I am going to go with Kyle Fletcher to beat Adam Cole. Baby. Next, we'll do the Casino Gauntlet matches. It's very difficult to pick a winner out of these, to be honest. There's 2 in mind for the women. For me, there's a lot of stuff happening for Chris Statlander. She's seemingly being touted by the Death Riders, so it's possibly her. I mean, it wouldn't be a bad person to have a world title match, and then obviously she could be a bit more gritty, and a bit more dark, and like the Death Riders are. I probably think Statlander could do that. The other is Athena, who's getting a bit more, few more matches on AEW rather than a Ring of Honor, but she is the Ring of Honor Women's Champion. Whether they'll want to do that, or they'll saying that the the TBS champion is facing the world champion, so it's a possibility. But I think I've talked myself into Statlander winning the Casino Gauntlet. I know she's number 1 entrant, so it kind of makes sense. If you don't know how the Casino Gauntlet works, it's basically like a Royal Rumble, but first pin wins it. So you could have 10 people come in there, you could have 4 people come in there, you could have 20 people come in there. First pin wins, so it's basically how it works. For the men, I mean, MJF is second, I think he is. Second entrant. He makes sense. There isn't really anybody else that's not on the card that I can think of, unless they do a surprise person. I would say Ricochet's not on this, but he could get himself a world title shot. Christian could get himself a world title shot. Could have Adam Copeland come back. I don't know if he's ready to come back yet. I'm going to take a safe punt and go MJF, because whoever wins... No, I am not. I am not going MJF. I have just thought of it. I think your winner of the men's Casino Gauntlet is Darby Allin. Because he is due back. And I think he's... I've got a bit of a spoiler. He may be the one that takes the world title. In the end. For Moxley. Whether it... But I'm behind Hangman for this. For this feud. No, I'll go... We'll stick to it. We'll go Darby Allin. For the men's. And we'll go Statlander for the women's. I know I've kind of messed that up a bit, and you're going to see a lot of back and forth for the picture, but that's what I'm going for. Statlander, women's gauntlet, men's gauntlet, Darby Allin. We'll then go to the women's world title match. Timeless Toni Storm, Mercedes Moné. I hear a lot about creative control of Mercedes Moné. She has a lot of belts. Does she need the world championship? I don't think she does. But then who is then left to face Toni Storm after that? I feel like a challenging, chasing Toni Storm is better than Mercedes losing this match. So I'm going to say Mercedes Moné to beat Timeless Toni Storm. These are much more difficult than they are for WWE because they're more obvious for WWE. Next, Kazuchika Okada versus Kenny Omega. Title for title, Continental versus International, to create the inaugural AEW Unified Champion. I'm going for the Rainmaker, Kazuchika Okada. I think they are starting to push him into more of a main event spot. I know, obviously, Omega is very good. I think this will be a great match. I just think they're going to push him more, Okada, and push him kind of into that main event spot. And I think that makes more sense than Omega winning. With also the added effect of what I'm going to say next, because the next match is Swerve Strickland and Will Ospreay versus the Young Bucks. If Ospreay and Strickland lose, they cannot challenge for the world title for a year. If the Bucks lose, they are stripped of EVP titles. Either situation is likely. This is so difficult. I think that the Bucks will put this up for up on the line again later on. I feel as though the Bucks being EVPs is a story that's still making sense to a point. Obviously, the Death Rider stuff is a bit conjunctive. Strickland and Ospreay not being able to compete for the world title for a year pushes them towards the Unified Championship, which gives Okada further good first challengers. Obviously, if you have Omega do a rematch, you can also do that. So, with